Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Suburban Homesteader, Wyoming, Arizona. This is Sandy. So I hope you're having a great Monday. Great beginning of the week. Great week. It's perfect. Well, we have been gone to Colorado. We went to see one of our boys, his wife, and some special friends. And one of those special friends is actually in here. That's right, Steph is in here, and I got to spend that basically Saturday morning with her. It was so much fun. And it was just like, yes, I was totally excited. And so we had a great time. We had breakfast together, wandered around in the mountains up in Colorado, and it was a great time. So Steph, I so appreciate that you came up and saw me, and we will do it again. And there was all kinds of people in here tonight. So side note, when the 30 seconds of countdown was going, Joe was dancing. That's right. He was dancing. He says, they're not going to believe you.
Was that?
He was. He was dancing. So Doug from His Way Homestead, a member, is in. Shawnee from Vancouver is in. And she says, I want to see the moose on the loose. And that video will actually be up this week because I took a bunch of videos with Marge the moose that comes into our son's and his wife's backyard up in the mountains. And Rebecca is in here. Hello, Rebecca. And of course, everybody's saying hi. That's always wonderful. Steph is in here. She is a member. And Doug was asking me about the mushroom that I posted on the community tab, and we will talk about those mushrooms in a little bit. And Jeannie is in, and it was huge. I mean, humongous. It was craziness how big those mushrooms can get up there. And let's see who else is here. Ann Dale is here. Hi, Ann girl. How are you? And Ann is also a member, and Craig is in here. And, Tony is in. Hey, Tony, how are you? From the lake on his phone. Awesome. And John with the Unpaved Explorer is in. Oh, Jenny, how are ya? She says, I'm glad I'm awake. I hope you're doing good. I hope you are feeling okay. And if you need some prayers, I'm always sending them your way. That is for sure. And I think I got everybody. And if I didn't, I apologize. Make a comment and so that I can. Oh, and Jake is in. Hey, Jake, how are ya? How is that wife, Ann, of yours and the girls? And everybody's saying hello. Now, there's a few things I wanted to show you. First, my daughter-in-law made me some alpaca socks. Aren't those fun? They fit my feet perfectly. And great colors. So it's got some of my favorite colors in there. And so it was so nice of Jamie to do that for me. And they're perfect, seriously. Second thing I want to show you, since Steph is in, and I don't know how long she'll be in, I'm going to show it to you. She made me a couple little books. Now this one is for notes. I can write in it. This one, when you open it up, it has all of these bookmarks, and I'm always reading. So I'm so excited about being able to use that. There's bookmarks here. It's just a fabulous little book. So Steph, thank you very much for that. Steph, they are beautiful socks. I love them. And I wore them one day when I was up in Colorado, and so comfortable, warm. Now look at this. Look at these papers. Steph made these for me. Are those cool or what? I have like a million ideas on what I can do with these papers. So I just love them. But another great thing to show you is if you don't know the Vineyard Chicks, and a lot of times I'll pop in sometime during my live stream. If you don't know the Vineyard Chicks, there's KK, Trey, and Bunky. Bunky is the youngest one. She's my superhero. But Trey, she's very creative. And one of the things that she does is she makes logos and stuff. So I asked her if she'd make me a logo. Now, this is just printed on printer paper. And so the colors are much more vivid that, on the email that she sent. But this is what look at this. So, Suburban Homesteader, Wyoming, Arizona. It says Wyoming here, Arizona over here, has a cactus, and then this flower right here is the Indian paintbrush, which is the state flower of Wyoming. So I am going to use this. I think it'll be fun on some t-shirts. And it was so nice, and she wouldn't let me pay her for it. So I am sending Trey a special secret gift. But wasn't that sweet of her? And she sent it, and I'd ask her, can you move it this way? Can you move it this way? Can you add this color? Can you do this? And she just kept working until it was just like perfect. And so it's all about me. But it's got Suburban Homesteader, it's got Wyoming, it's got Arizona, it's got the flowers, it's got cactus. How can you go wrong? So that was so nice. Well, I seriously just got back from a Master Gardener meeting. We got in this afternoon from Colorado. I do some stuff around the house. And then it's like, Joe, gotta go. I got a Master Gardener meeting. I'm trying to move the camera a little bit because there's reflection on my glasses. That's right. You gotta love the middle kid. I'm a middle kid. Trey is very creative. She has Trey Designs. And so besides having the Vineyard Chicks YouTube channel, she has her own YouTube channel. And she's just great. I mean, all the girls are great. But it was very sweet and kind of her to do that for me. So how did my plants survive when I was gone? We had somebody come and stay at our house, and we have never done that before. I mean, kids, and somebody house sat for us. 2 reasons. One, I didn't want to have to take the dogs, and I didn't want to pay $200 and some for them to be at the kennel for the weekend. Second, we have chickens, and I needed somebody to feed the chickens. And so she stayed and fed the chickens, let the dogs go in and out, and it was perfect. And so I was really happy. She had house sat for the neighbors, and we know their family, and so it was really nice. Oh, and look at here. Doug's mom's birthday is today, 85 years old today. Doug, please tell her I said happy birthday. That is so amazing. 85 years old. Yes, amazing. And Cutting Edge is in. Hello, Cutting Edge. How are you? I actually don't think you have been on a live before. If you have, I apologize. But thanks so much. And everybody say hi to Cutting Edge. That is awesome. And I see Doug saying hi. And Jeannie saying happy birthday, Doug, to your mom. So that is awesome. And she says mom because it had an N before. That is awesome. So what else have I been doing? Because I never have enough time to do everything. Well, maybe not. So I bought these felting molds, and I showed you how I did it, a heart on Steph's hat. I think I showed it on last Monday, or I showed it on a clip or something. Well, look what I decided to do. I decided to do, turn it this way, a bee. So I felted it on an actual piece of felt because I wasn't sure what I wanted to do it. If I was going to felt, oh my gosh. This is Rich. He was at our Master Gardener meeting. I did not realize that was, see, the icon is too small and I can't see that it's you. But if we could blow it up. Oh yeah. Hi Rich, how are you? We sat together at our Master Gardener meeting. So that is awesome. And at the Master Gardener meeting, segue, I want an avocado tree. Actually, there's 3 trees in the pot. So I'm going to divide them out, put them in different pots, because in Arizona, they grow all year round. You know, the avocado that I have down there, I planted this year, but it's probably, I don't know, 6 feet tall. And Tina Ladybug is in. LP is in. I hope I didn't miss anyone. I know it. One of the master gardeners grew them. The tallest one is about 2 feet tall. So I'm just totally excited. So I'll divide them up. So Rich, if you want one to grow in your greenhouse, let me know and you can have one of them. So I'll pot them up and you can have one of them. Because then I'd have 4 of them down in Arizona. I don't need 4 avocados. So it's crazy. But it is like 83 degrees. No, 81 degrees now. And it was close to 90 today. But up in the mountains in Colorado, my daughter-in-law says, why don't you just move to Colorado? I'm not moving to Colorado. But I did love it. It was really fun. And it was incredible, actually. It's like 73 degrees there all summer long at their house because they're high up. And Jamie says that it rains almost every afternoon. And the mushrooms were everywhere. So I posted it on my community tab, a picture of some mushrooms. But these big ones, they're called porcinis. And, Ange is in here. Hey, Ange, how are you? Anyway, these porcinis, the biggest one that we found was about 9 inches across, 10 inches across. And the stalk was huge. And that's one of the pictures I posted. And there was all kinds of mushrooms. Now, a friend of my daughter-in-law's, Julie, she took us out and she's like a mushroom expert. And she'd go, nope, you can't eat that one. That one's poisonous. Nope, that one's okay. And we found porcinis and oyster mushrooms, some of them really big, some of them small. Puffballs, they taste like mozzarella cheese. And the other one that I found was hawkwing. And then there were some that were questionable. And even Julie, the expert, she wasn't sure. She took some of them back with her to do some more research because some of the mushrooms are so close together. Have you ever eaten a puffball? A puffball mushroom? But Doug, you just never know what Doug is talking about. Oh, we love them. Have to get them before they puff. That's true because that's what they told me, that they make this thing in the top and they puff all the spores out. But most of the porcinis weren't as big as that one, though there wasn't a couple that were probably 6 inches across. And instead of having those like rib things on the bottom of the mushrooms, it's very spongy. So it's an easy one to know that that's what it is. And me too, Rich. You know, we had a mushroom guy come in, and that's how I learned how to do the oyster mushrooms in the toilet paper rolls. That's how I originally found out how to do that. But there was just so many mushrooms. And I talked to another mushroom expert down it was by Nederland, which is in Colorado. It's a little funky hippie town. It's really fun to go to. And he was telling me more about mushrooms. And he said I could grow, because I told him I wanted to grow some on oak logs where you make the drill holes. And I said I just wasn't sure if I could grow them in Wyoming. And so he told me different tricks to do. And he says, you'll be able to grow them. And so next spring, I'm going to do that. Oh, and Anne says that she just bought another mushroom growing kit. She showed how to do the box that you can buy at the store. And she says that she did another one. I have a couple giant puffball mushroom videos. They are the size of soccer balls. Now, when they're big like that, because there's different types of puff mushrooms, are they still edible? The ones that we got Oh, they were probably the size of a quarter. Those types that live by Jamie's and Jason's house can be the size of golf balls. But Jamie had a mushroom book I was going through, and there's different kinds of puffball mushrooms, and they can be different sizes. And so that was kind of fun. Jeannie says that they used to pick morels at her aunt's farm as a kid in Missouri. And Jamie's book did say that there was morels that grow in different parts of Colorado, but we didn't find any. And so, but there's a lot of mushrooms that you can eat, and they were so delicious. It was just like, whoa, because all mushrooms have a little bit different flavor. And like the puffs taste kind of like mozzarella cheese. And I apologize if I missed anybody's comments. And Shani says I used to stomp on the puffballs. I didn't know they were edible. There is a puffball, according to Jamie's book that I read, that is poisonous, but all the other ones are edible. And some of them are a little bit different color. Some of them are different sizes. So it was really interesting, especially because we had Julie with us, who is kind of a mushroom expert. And she could tell us. And then there was piles and piles of cow poo. Oh, and Shelly's in here. Hey, Shelly, how are ya? Shelly is also a member, and Doug's wife. Anyway, there's a lot of land. People have cows, they have horses, all kinds of stuff. And so there was horse poo, and there was mushrooms growing out of them. And those were some that Julie took with her because she says they're the same shape as psychedelic mushrooms, which I would have never known. But then in the cow poo, there was psychedelic mushrooms. And it was like, okay, but on the stem, maybe that's not the correct word for it. It was kind of bluish. And so, but we just left them, we didn't do anything with them, but it was interesting to know the different kinds of mushrooms. And then we found some cup mushrooms. So they're tannish and they look like a little cup. And in fact, they grow in Wyoming. And when it rains, the cup fills up. But the ones that grow in Wyoming, the ones that I know about are edible, but I don't know if all of them are edible. So it's interesting. That's right. Mushrooms and poop. They liked it, I guess. But most of the mushrooms were not growing in any poo. And then there was some mushrooms growing on trees. And there was one that was called turkey tail, maybe. And I guess you use that. It was hard. But I guess you can use them with tincture. You can make a tincture out of them. But I didn't get any of those. Actually, I didn't take any of them. Jamie had some that she took home and cooked for us. But the rest of the group took all the rest of them. So it was great fun. Doug says, all of them are edible once. And I guess with mushrooms, there's edible, non-edible, and then edible that don't taste very good, or edible that may give you a stomach ache, but it wouldn't kill you. And it was like, so I was glad that we had somebody that really knew mushrooms, and because otherwise it would be like, oh my gosh. Steph says psychedelic mushrooms are a big background business here in Colorado, according to my son. It probably is, it's just not something I would try. But she did show us which ones were that. And they called them magic mushrooms, but I suppose those are psychedelic mushrooms. So it was interesting. I'm still trying I don't know why my computer is glaring so bad today. And Todd, how are you? Todd, Joe is downstairs. He was dancing before my video started. And then came in and said he wasn't to everybody, but he was. And it was really funny. I would love to know more about mushrooms too. I have several mushroom books, but I think I learned more walking with Julie than I have learned in a book, because they're right there and you can see that and feel the texture of them. And I mean, we pulled up the poisonous ones too, so we could look at them. We found this one that Julie did not know what it was at all. And it was waxy. The stem was waxy. The cap was waxy. And she said she just hadn't ever seen one quite like that. There were really some interesting poisonous ones that had green on them. And she said a lot of times that's a sign, but she says not always, but she says sometimes you should always err on the side of caution, she said, if it has green underneath or green on top. And Rich says, this would be a great garden talk, series talk. Oh, I think so too. I think if, because the Master Gardeners did have an expert one time, but I think if you could have a panel of experts and people could ask questions on a YouTube live stream, I think it would be fabulous. Doug says, we went to the Memphis Botanical Gardens to sit in on a speaker talking about mushrooms. Yeah, some of those people that are mushroom experts, it's just amazing. And then a lot of books will tell you which mushrooms like to be dried or which ones like to be cooked or sauteed. And so that's always a nice thing because you don't want to, because like one of them, you had to boil first and then you cook it however you want. So the boiling process must do a chemical reaction and then they become edible. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Mushroom of the month. Yeah, see, that would be interesting. Wyoming, though it does have some mushrooms and they have more up in the mountains, but here in the prairie, it's very limited on the amount of mushrooms that they have. Oh, and look who's here. Molly is here. How are you, girl? I know, it's growing. How you been, Molly? No, Molly, I first started watching Molly's channel when she was always doing cakes and cupcakes. And she did some of the most amazing cakes and cupcakes, decorating them that I've ever seen. That Peter Rabbit one was so incredible. It was just amazing. And now she does all kinds of stuff too. So it's just totally fun. He told us to never eat any mushrooms raw. And we didn't eat any raw either, the wild mushrooms. We cooked them all. And I think that you're probably safer doing that. And Molly says, I love eating mushrooms. And Teresa is in. How fun. So many fun people. And Nightbot is just showing you my members. I don't know how it decides. I just have a list of all my members and it decides. I often think that my lives are too short for Nightbot to get all through my members because sometimes my members will say, I never see my name on there. But like Doug, he used to say that Nightbot hated him because it would never show him. And now Doug pops up all the time. Doug, Todd is telling your mom happy birthday. Molly wants to know if we are in Arizona now or Wyoming. We are in Wyoming right now. And we just got back from Colorado. We were there since Friday. And that was great fun. And for all you guys who didn't see at the beginning, Trey, one of the vineyard chicks, made me a logo. Isn't that cute? I love it. So I'm going to do some stuff with that. Living a rogue life. How are you? Hope your week is starting wonderfully. It is starting fabulously. Got home from Colorado, did stuff around the yard, did stuff with the chickens and the dogs. The dogs were so excited to see us. I mean, they were just like jumping and wouldn't stop. And I went to a Master Gardener meeting, got to see some of my friends there. It has just been great. And then I get to see you guys. How can I go wrong? Tomorrow, on Tuesdays and Thursday mornings from 10 to 12, I teach a gal painting. And we should finish our painting, so then it'll go up on my wall. And because I do one along with her, because it makes it easier for somebody to learn, especially different techniques. And then we're going to start a new one. So I have to draw that one. So it's all ready for tomorrow. So that will be great. And Angie, look at these socks. Jamie made me these. Aren't they cute? They have coral in them. Coral is my favorite color. I love the yellow house painting in the back. Oh, this was one that Mary and I did together. And she finds them. She's never going to sell the painting. She just finds one she likes online. And she'll say, can you teach me how to do that technique? And so I'll study the painting. And then we'll do it. And so this is one we did last summer. It was so fun. And whoa, I dropped my painting. The one we're doing right now is a kettle. It's metal, probably enamel. It's old, and then has a little coffee cup next to it. And so it has lots of tans and whites and grays and blacks and rust-colored parts of it. And it is just, it's really turning out good. And I'll post it if she'll let me. Sometimes she lets me, and sometimes she doesn't want me to show people, but she never lets me show pictures of herself. I think so too, Shawnee. And I don't know where she finds the pictures. She just sends them to me, and she'll say, can we do this one? And she's a retired teacher. She is, Mary must be about, I would guess probably 70s. And she just wants them for herself. And so I'm okay with doing that. That painting was worth thousands. You should not drop your masterpiece work. Well, it's not my masterpiece. It is just something somebody else has done. But they're great fun to do. And I don't sell them, because it's not my original art. I only sell the ones that are actually my original art. And we are going to do some fun, crazy things on my fused glass artwork this week. I started some of them this afternoon, and they're drying. And so they'll go in the kiln actually tonight if the glue's dry enough. But fun. And some of the things I'm going to give away. So you guys will have to check that out. And Blue, how are you, young lady? Is it 3, 4 o'clock in the morning at your house? I would guess so. I don't think you sleep anymore. I see you on lives. I see you commenting. And you were like, I don't know, 8 hours difference than me. Something like that. That's right. Funky fused artwork. And when we left on Friday, my poppy was still, my second attempt at my poppy, which is really big and round, was still in the kiln. It was 150 degrees, so you can't open it. And it was like, I can't wait 3 hours or 4 hours. And so I thought, well, I'll just see it today. It is so spectacular. And I posted a picture of it on the community tab. And the brackets that I'm using and the special glue adheres to the glass and the metal. And so that the poppy will literally look like it's floating in air. And so I'm just totally excited. And one of the art galleries wants me to bring it in later on, because it takes 72 hours to dry, the glue with the metal and the glass. And so I'm going to bring it into them, and we'll see if they take it for their gallery. So, oh yeah, Blue says it's 3:30. in the morning. Her husband does get up very early in the morning to go to work, though. Oh, do tell about the quilt too in your wall. I love the shadow effect. Oh, are we talking about this one, Molly? This one? I like to make wall hangings, and I like to do freestyle stitching. And so you drop your feed dogs, and then you can literally move your material around and make all kinds of crazy shapes. And so I have lots of these, and they're just like so crazy. Oh, see, Rich saw a picture of the poppy because I was sitting next to him at the Master Gardener meeting, and I told him, it showed him a picture, and yeah. And night owl, that's right, because Blue says that she's somewhere between 3 and 4 most mornings. That is early. It's like being a farmer. Thanks, Ann. And I like different kinds of art. I met the most fabulous artist in Colorado. He's a neighbor of our son and daughter-in-law. And they have a fabulous house and, like, I don't know, acreage, that kind of stuff. They have a pond and stuff. And he has a sculpture in front of the Rocky Stadium. So this kind of gives you an idea, right? He's pretty famous. I mean, actually, he's really famous. He's not pretty famous. Anyway, show me these installations that he had. And they move. And they had like 500,000 crystal lights that change color. And they're moving. And they're in these buildings in Denver. And they're like 35 feet long and 15 feet across. And it was like, oh my gosh. But he liked my painting that my daughter-in-law has. And so that's why I got to meet him, because he likes that painting. So it's crazy. But Molly says that she's leaving us because she is not a night owl. And I like to keep my lives at 30 minutes. And I didn't have a Friday Night Live because I was in Colorado. And I am actually really considering only having Monday Night Lives. I like Late Night with Nana, but it's 9 o'clock and it's late. I mean, not late as in time-wise, but we have supper, and then I feel like I can't really do anything because I'm waiting until 9 o'clock. So I'm just going to have my Monday Night Live. So, yeah. And members, usually I have a Monday morning video, but I was driving on my way back to Wyoming. And so I will have that tomorrow afternoon because I'm teaching painting in the morning. But everybody, I'm going to let you go. And yes, Angie, I will see you in a few days. And let me know if it's going to be Thursday or Friday. And so it doesn't matter. It can be Thursday or Friday. It doesn't matter at all. Just let me know. Because Angie's coming through and she's staying at my house. So everybody have a great night. I hope you have an interesting week. If you are looking for a great live to watch, 9 o'clock Mountain Standard Time, watch Ann Dale tomorrow morning. And so that's right. It's 11 or 12, depending on where they are at. So those are late ones. I am not talking about Dell, but I do like his stuff. But I don't know if I can give his name, and so I won't. But he is very famous, and he has a lot of artwork, a lot of different places. And he gave me a tour of his house, and I got to see a bunch of his artwork, and it was fabulous, actually. I was really excited. So I'm going to let you guys go. So everyone have a great time. And Steph, thanks for all the goodies. And I will see everybody tomorrow because I'll have a video up. Okay, bye. Bye, everybody.